Hello there, this is Sue Simmons of Equinox Family Consulting and lemons to lemonade.mom. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the mysterious aspect of autism and eye contact. But first, I'm hoping that you're enjoying the ambiance that I have set up here. I worked very hard at this. I do love ambiance, I must say that. And if you're the parent of a child on the autism spectrum, and if you are living in a state of emotional chaos, and you are ready to transform your relationship so that you can have a more playful and loving connection with your child, then I want you to get in contact with me because I can help. So let's talk about eye contact. So one of the things that I find so interesting about eye contact is that for us, for people who are neurotypical, it can be so problematic for us. It can be really unnerving for us, right? And if you think about how we are addressing autism, for the most part, it's from a behavioral perspective, right? So we see autism based on how we're currently treating autism as primarily behavioral challenges, and there's so much more to it than that. So people are inclined to see eye contact as not so much a behavioral problem, but a problem that they needs to be changed on their end. And this is one of my real pet peeves about the way we're addressing autism. And I love this book here. I'm going to call him Dr. Barry. Let's see, Barry Prisant. I never know how to pronounce his name properly. In his book, Uniquely Human, he talks about how in order to support our children with autism, it's not they shouldn't need to change. It's up to us to understand them and then change what we do to support them. So from that perspective, eye contact is really an issue for us because we are so accustomed to people making eye contact with us, right? And so let's think about that for a second. Why does that happen in the first place? Why do we make eye contact with one another when we're in conversation? Think about that. Why do we make eye contact when we're in conversation with people? Any ideas? Well, here's a thought, because it gives us information on what is going on for the other person, right? When we look at someone's face, we can read their facial expression, we can look into their eyes and see what might be going on for them. Sorry, I just got a notification. We can look at their mouth. Are they smiling? Are they grimacing? So there's all kinds of reasons that we would be looking at someone's face. So here's the thing, in children with autism, some make eye contact, some don't. But in many social skills groups, and in some therapeutic environments, there is a push to encourage eye contact. But here's the problem. A typical child who develops through, and many social, very, very, seemingly innocent social interactions between parent and child, when you think of a parent and a child interacting, what do you visualize? What comes to mind? Usually, it's FaceTime, right? Usually, it's parent and child up very close, making eye contact. And those early developmental foundations are essential for a child to understand nonverbal communication. And so in many cases, in most cases, individuals on the autism spectrum do not have those foundations in place. So therefore, when they make eye contact, number one, it can be uncomfortable for them from a sensory perspective. And number two, it may have no meaning for them. Because if they missed all of that early interaction where they were learning the give and take of social interaction with a caregiver, then looking into someone's eyes or at someone's facial expression is not going to have meaning for them. So therefore, why would they? Because it doesn't have any value for them. So that's why it's our issue, really. It's our problem. And we have to learn to understand that. And so some people ask me, should I be prompting my child to make eye contact? And to that I say no. Because again, what's the point? If there's no meaning for the child, then the only person who's going to be benefiting is the adult, right? And so that's, again, just serving our own needs. So there are lots of things that can be done in order to encourage your child on the autism spectrum to learn to understand nonverbal communication. And the cool thing is that they're fun. They're actually really fun. And so I'm going to give you 3 suggestions. Okay, so the first one is to be animated. Okay, because if you're animated and if you're using very expressive language, then your child is more likely to look at you to figure out what's going on. So being animated is a fabulous way to encourage your child to make eye contact. And not to make you feel better, but to help your child learn to understand what's going on for you, right? So that you can build a connection. And the second one is answering questions with gestures instead of words, because we fall into the trap of, because our children often do not make eye contact, we fall into the trap of just using verbal communication. Okay, so they are losing out on opportunities to learn to understand nonverbal communication because we have not necessarily given up, but we've come to realize that that's not effective. So we just rely on language. So for example, where I can't find my shoes. And so if you just pause and point or shrug, for example, and wait, give your child lots of time to process your information. And so the third suggestion I have is one that is really kind of fun. And so that is to have dinner with an agreement that there's no language. And so the entire meal, it doesn't have to be lengthy, is only using nonverbal communication. So really what that means is that even if your child isn't able to be 100% in the game, your child will be watching and observing and seeing what other family members are doing. Okay, I see. I got someone here. Yay. I can't scroll up. I don't know why. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I can't see comments. I'm sorry. So those are some suggestions for you to think about. And most importantly, when you see, when you know a family member, friend who has a child with autism, don't assume that they are not listening if they are not making eye contact, okay? Because chances are that they are listening and they are paying attention. It's almost like when there's a child who is non-speaking or, non-verbal. We tend to assume that those children aren't thinking just because they're not speaking, and nothing could be farther from the truth. So we need to give our kids way more credit. They have so much more potential than we have been led to believe that they have. And on that note, if you are struggling with emotional chaos in your home and you want to see some serious shifts by the start of the school year next September, I want you to send me a message about my Better Behavior and Beyond program, which is going to be starting next month. And it's a very, very cool online program that you can do at your own pace. Lots of one-on-one support, and you will see excellent progress. So if you're really struggling, give me a call. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have not downloaded our e-guide to making sense of autism and difficult behavior, then you can just type in guide down below. If you want to join our Lemons to Lemonade ASD Moms group, you can just type in lemons below, and please share this with your friends and ask questions after the fact. I promise you I will get back to you. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful long weekend. Yay, Monday's a holiday. So take care, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.